Hello, hello. How's everyone's day going? Mine's going pretty well. Uh, you know, Today we're going on over a deck. It's been a little bit since I've done this, but right now decks. I do have a different video for D planned, but one step at a time. This can be a little more in depth than my normal videos, so hopefully closer to the tier video, because I think this deck is really cool. It's really fun. But let's quickly get into the deck list. For our Ryzeals, we're playing 2 copies of your Ice Ryzeal, 2 copies of Sword Ryzeal, 1 copy of X Ryzeal, 1 Node Ryzeal, 1 Star Ryzeal, 1 Ryzeal Cross, and 1 Bonfire. If you don't know what each one of these cards does, that's where we're going to go over it. So every single Ryzeal has a effect on field, and then an effect to summon themselves from the hand. Ice Ryzeal, when it's normal summon, can summon another Ryzeal from deck, and it can send a card from hand or field to graveyard to summon itself from the hand. Sword Ryzeal can summon itself from the hand if you control a Ryzeal or there's a Ryzeal in your graveyard, and then it searches a light pyro. X Ryzeal can summon itself by sending a Exceed monster from your extract to the graveyard, and then searches you a Fire Thunder. So basically, these are your searchers, and they search the opposite one. So X can search Sword, and Sword can search X, although there are other cards that you can often be searching. And then we have our Node Ryzeal. Node Ryzeal can summon itself if there's an Xyz monster in either the field or in the graveyard. It can send a card from hand or field to graveyard to summon a Ryzeal back from grave. And finally, Star Ryzeal, which is the newest of these guys, summons itself by detaching a material from an Xyz monster, and then can set a Ryzeal spell trap. In this case, we're playing Ryzeal Cross, which at point of resolution can negate a monster effect by detaching from an Xyz monster you control, and you can target 2 Ryzeal cards in your graveyard, put them in the bottom of your deck, and draw a card, and then Bonfire, search our Pyros. Every Ryzeal, when you special summon them, locks you into rank 4s from the extra deck. Our next engine is the Mitsirugis. Playing 3 copies of Ame no Hapukiri no Mitsurugi. This card lets you, once per turn, while it's in your hand, special summon a Mitsurugi monster from your main deck, and then tribute a card you control. Then, if it is tributed, you can add a Mitsurugi card, except for itself, and then summon itself back. We're playing 3 copies of Mitsurugi Prayers. Prayers lets you, when it's activated, either tribute a card or you don't have to. If you tribute a card, you can use both effects, otherwise you're stuck to only one, which is adding a Mitsurugi and then special summoning one from hand or graveyard. Playing 1 copy of Ame no Murakumo no Mitsurugi. This card lets you, when it's special summoned, destroy all monsters your opponent controls, which is really strong. It can negate a card, or your opponent can choose to discard, so it lets them choose, which is, it'd be better if it was a pure negate, but otherwise it'd be broken. And has the same revival effect as Hapukiri, where it can special summon itself and add a Mitsurugi card. Playing 1 copy of Mitsurugi Ritual. This card is often the card you're going to be searching, and it lets you ritual summon a reptile monster from your hand by sending materials from deck, or summon one from deck by sending materials from hand or field. And you can use both effects in a turn, but you can't use the same effect. Finally, we are playing 3 reptiles. Mitsurugi no Makoto Kusanagi, Mitsurugi no Makoto Saji, and Night Sword Serpent. Saji has the effect, if it's normal special summoned or tributed, you can add a Mitsurugi spell trap. Kusanagi, under the same conditions, adds a Mitsurugi card from graveyard to banishment. And Night Sword Serpent, if it's sent to graveyard by card effect, summons itself. As well, both of these contribute themselves off the board to protect a reptile monster from being destroyed. Finally, for the Primite part of this deck, playing 2 Ether Barrels, 3 Lordly Loads, 1 Primite Drill Beam, and 1 copy of Harpy Lady. So, the Ether Barrels are a normal summon. On normal summon, you can set a Primite spell trap. You contribute them from the field to send a normal monster from your deck to the graveyard, and then during your standby phase, they can add themselves to hand if you have a normal monster in your graveyard or field. Primite Lordly Load is when it's activated, add the Primite card from your deck to your hand, and then, once per turn, you can special summon a normal monster from your hand deck graveyard by declaring its name. Finally, Primite Drill Beam, which lets us reveal a Primite or a normal monster in the hand, or if you control a normal monster, then it can just be activated straight away, and that lets you target a face-up card, negate the effect of that card, and then banish it. And then it can set itself if you control a Primite. And then Harpy Lady is our target for our Lordly Load, because it lets us abuse Harpy Featherstorm. Harpy's Featherstorm lets you, it's a normal trap, but it lets you, if you control a Wind Wing Beast, until the end of the turn, negate any monster that your opponent activates. This is lingering, which means that it's really strong, and it's can be activated from hand if you control Harpy Lady. So that's what we're playing. Playing 3/7 Tachyon, this lets you reveal a number monster between 101 and 107, and then add a monster that has the same attribute or type, but it has to match the level. So I'll show you for that. Playing 3 copies of Triple Tactics Thrust, the alt art, and 1 Talents. Playing 1 Gravedigger's Shop Full. This is for Rafflesia, it lets you negate a hand. Playing 3 copies of Droll, 3 copies of Fool Loss, and 3 copies of Ash as our non-engine. These are probably, Droll is probably the best hand trap right now. Fool Loss is just good going second because it lets you draw more cards, which lets you get a greater chance of breaking board. And Ash stops mulch armies on you. We'll move on to the extra deck. Playing 1 Ryzeal Detonator. Ryzeal Detonator lets you on summon attach a card from graveyard to it, but more importantly, when your opponent activates a card effect, you can catch material and pop a card, which is not once per turn, and you can protect your seas by attaching material. 2 copies of Duo Drive. Duo Drive has the same effect, but instead of on summon attaching a monster, it attaches a Ryzeal. Your monsters gain attack points based on number of materials times 100, and your opponent's monsters lose that many attack. It can attach up to 2 materials, add 2 cards from your deck to hand. Playing a Mirrorlogic Aggravator, which is to send off X, which lets you negate a card on field. Eclipse Twins, which does come up a lot in even just making it, but this is the card you're going to send going first most of the time with X, because when it's sent to graveyard, you can target 2 rank 4s in your graveyard and summon them, and you can actually just make this card using rank 4's material. 1 copy of Rafflesia. It plays around hand traps. 1 Dugaris to draw 2, discard 1. These 2 cards are probably interesting. Number 38, Hope Harbinger, and Golden Dragon Dragluxion. So Dragluxion lets you add a Tachyon, basically. Or a Galaxy card, we're here using it to add 7 Tachyon. It can detach 2 materials from this card, and you special summon a rank 8 Dragon Xyz. Oh, that's just this card. Next, we're playing Utility rank 4s in Exciton Knight and Babutska. Babutska for if you get Charmed and you don't want to go in, just make it in defense. And buy turn. Exciton for going second. And we're playing Tornado Dragon because it pops background. Although a lot of the times Tornado Dragon is just a worse detonator. But that's fine. Finally, we're playing Castell, which is a Wind Wing Beast. So if you draw the Harpy Storm without access to the Primite stuff, you can just make this and it will trigger for the Featherstorm to lock your opponent. Finally, playing 2 targets, playing number 104 Masquerade, which is a light level 4, which lets you search the light pyros, and Giant Hand, which is a level 4 for rank 4 Earth, which lets you add a 3rd barrel. Playing 3 copies of Dark Ruler No More, 3 Lightning Storm, and 1 Harpy's Feather Duster. 1 Called by the Grave. Plasma Hole as an extra target off the Rafflesia, depending on the matchup. A Great Purification for going first. 2 Solemn Strikes, also for going first. Harpy's Featherstorm, a second one, and Anti-Spell, if you are ensuring the lock. I ran through that kind of quickly because I do want to actually really go over a lot of scenarios with the deck, and this deck takes a little bit of time, so let us First of all, I will show off the basic one card and then a variation of it. This will be your one card Habakiri combo. Trigger the Habakiri effect in hand, which lets you special summon from your deck. Monster is going to be a Saji, and you're going to tribute Saji. Trigger your Saji effect to add a Mitsirugi spell trigger. This is going to be your Mitsirugi ritual. Activate ritual, and you're going to declare the effect to summon a ritual monster from hand by tributing from deck. This will send your Kusanagi and your Nightward Serpent. On a new chain, you're going to chain link 1 Kusanagi to add the ritual back to hand, chain link 2 Nightward Serpent to add it to hand. Or add to hand to special summon it. You're going to trigger your ritual effect to summon from deck. You're grabbing a Ame no Murakumo no Mitsurugi from deck. And you can trigger your Habakiri effect because it was tributed, summon itself, and add a card. This will be your Mitsurugi prayers. You're going to activate your prayers, and you're going to tribute your Ame no Murakumo to add and then special summon. You're going to add your Ame no Habakiri no Mitsurugi and special summon from graveyard your Saji. On a new chain, you can trigger the effect of your Murakumo to summon itself and add. This will add from your deck to your hand Mitsurugi prayers. From here, you can overlay these two monsters. For a Rafflesia. Now overlay your two rituals to make Shadow Dragon Trigluxion and trigger the effect. This will search from your deck to your hand 7th Tachyon. You can trigger the effect of your dragon to rank up into Titanic Galaxy. Now activate your 7th Tachyon and reveal to your opponent your Masquerade. It's going to let you add from deck to hand Ice Ryzeal and place a card from your hand on the bottom of your deck. Normal summon out Ice Ryzeal and trigger the effect. This will let you special summon a Ryzeal monster from your deck. In this context, it is going to be a Star Ryzeal. You're going to trigger your Star Ryzeal. It's going to place you from your deck, Ryzeal Cross. Here, you will go ahead and make your Duo Drive. You will now activate your Duo Drive to detach from Exceed monsters you control to search 2 cards. It's going to be your Shadow Dragon Trigluxion and your Ice Ryzeal. This is going to search from your deck to your hand a copy of Sword Ryzeal and a copy of Node Ryzeal. Summon out your Sword Ryzeal and trigger the effect. This will let you add from your deck to your hand a copy of X Ryzeal. Use your X Ryzeal effect to send from your X deck to the graveyard a copy of Eclipse Twins and summon it. Unfortunately, you cannot search because you control the rank 8. Overlay these two monsters to make Dugaris and activate Dugaris' effect to draw 2. And then you will discard 1, but we do not know what that card is. Here, you can summon out your Node Ryzeal and activate your Node Ryzeal effect, sending Dugaris to special summon from graveyard, Ice, Ryzeal. Overlay your two monsters to make your Ryzeal detonator and trigger detonator effect to attach from the graveyard the Eclipse Twins. Now you can activate your Ryzeal Cross, place your sword and your X Ryzeal on the bottom of the deck to draw a card. From here, you have ended on a spell negate, a effect in hand or graveyard negate, a negate for a monster effect that does not start a chain, 2 pops off the detonator, and then you can trigger it a third time, detaching the Eclipse Twin to pop itself, summon itself back with the Eclipse Twins effect by using the Dugares, and then attaching. So in reality, this is 4 pops. And then also, you have the Mitsirugi Prayers, which prayers lets you summon back from your graveyard the Murakumo, which Murakumo is both a board wipe and another negate. And that is the simple 1-card combo. And I think this is the combo that plays the best into hand traps, in my opinion. Now then, let's show off what happens if, let's say, you have a thrust or something in your hand, which means that you want to get hand trapped. Pretty much, we're going to get to the same spot we were in earlier, where we have both our rituals on board. We've gone through prayers, we've gone through ritual, we've gone through Kusanagi. We have our Night Sword Serpent, a copy of Prayers in hand, a Habakiri in hand, and our Sati. So this will be our board. Instead of going for Rafflesia with these two, you can instead make a copy of Ryzeal Duo Drive. Now you can use your Duo Drive effect, attach 2 materials, and you can add from your deck to your hand a Node Ryzeal and a Sword Ryzeal. Before you lock yourself, you will make your Dragon Dragluxion and use the effect to search. This will get you your 7th Tachyon. Use the effect of your dragon, detaching 2, and rank up into Titanic Galaxy. From here, you can summon out your Sword Ryzeal and trigger Sword effect. This will search you from your deck to your hand a copy of Star Ryzeal. Now detach from Dragon to summon the star. Trigger the effect of your Star Ryzeal to set a spell card from deck. And you will set your Ryzeal Cross. Here, overlaying your 2 monsters. Two. There it is. You can either overlay right now, or you can wait. I'm probably just going to show off waiting, but you can make Dugares now. Now you can go 7 Tachyon, reveal your giant hand to your opponent. This will let you add from deck to hand a copy of Primite Dragon Ether Barrel and place a card on the bottom of the deck. Normal your Ether Barrel and trigger the effect. And this will let you set your Lordly Load, and now flip Lordly Load and use the effect to search a drill beam. Use these two now to make Eclipse Twins, and use these two now to make your Dugaris. Otherwise, you can make Dugaris beforehand, doesn't matter. If you make Dugaris beforehand, that means that you've thinned your deck, so you're less likely to draw non-engine, but then that does make it more likely to draw Featherstorm, so that's why you either make Dugaris now or you make it before. Although if you're making it now, you don't even have to summon the two monsters until just now. Summon your node Ryzeal and trigger your node effect. You're going to send your monster from the field to the graveyard, summon from your graveyard out. Oh wow, I'm sorry, I'm completely misspeaking today. You're going to trigger your Yugaris first, because you do need to have a Ryzeal engraved to summon. And you're going to draw your 2, discard 1, and now you go node Ryzeal. Send to graveyard, and summon out Star Ryzeal. From here, overlay your 2 monsters, make a detonator, trigger detonator effect to attach the Eclipse Twins, set the drill beam, set the prayers, and trigger the Lordly Load to summon from deck. Harpy Lady. So now if you have Featherstorm, you use it here when you're doing your post-draw phase. Otherwise, you have the prayers to summon the drill beam, the Titanic Galaxy to negate, the detonator, which now instead of 4 pops in the last scenario, it represents 3 pops plus the negate. And this one, in this line, you have a little more follow-up guaranteed. And in case you're wondering, the reason we can't shuffle is because if we shuffle the duo drive, we won't have another rank 4 engraved because the Jugar is stuck on field. Alright, well, I do hope you enjoyed. If you have any more specific questions about the deck list, the reasoning, lines, please ask me. I'm always open to conversation. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed and have a good day.